afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off it an exciting 1 vs 1 on the road to Kharkov. Between the north, we got here Ang, aka Tiramisu, fighting here for the United States of America, freedom and democracy, rolling out with the 3rd Armored Division, bashing its way through the Kraut lines, commanded here by Barton, fighting for Germany, Deutschland, rolling out here with the 15th Panzer Division with Austrian Armed Assault Support and Jaegeer Infantry, Triple Infantry versus Ang's Infantry, Mechanized and Heavy Cavalry with Triple Infantry there for Ang. Double Rifleman there for Ang, and we got Grenadiers MG42s there for Barton. Now, pretty standard stuff for both players. Ang now rushing straight for the Coh point, then probably head on straight for the fuel point. Barton a bit delayed, of course, since he had to build the infantry company, but sitting out there as well aggressively towards his own resources. Of course, noting here that Ang is not securing at this point, so in some ways he might sort of fall a bit behind resources in comparison to Barton on the longer term. We'll have to see. Depends on how quick. I mean, at this point it's sort of slightly awkward to position in such a manner. It sort of is a less efficient capturing or to grab it in many cases, and most people also just tend to forget it since it tends up being a bit of a blind spot. I mean, this chunk of the map tends to just be sort of a, you know, blind spot overall. Barton spreading out aggressive as the Americans. That's always something you have to be a bit wary of. It can bite you in the posterior. More Grenadiers on the way there for Barton. MG42 remaining on the car point, possibly anticipating Ang going to go for there. Rush it in, but so far no sign of that. The way Resistance versus Grenadiers can they slightly reposition themselves. Probably want to go for the house as soon as they got the point there, and there we go. Pioneer securing the munitions point. And Rifleman pursuing the Grenadiers. Grenadiers MG42 on the move there. Got the other Grenadiers are basically just stalling down Ang's forces there. Rifle squad here could prove to be a bit of a thorn in Barton's side. Depending on what he does, he moves for the centre. So that does mean his left flank could risk collapsing if Ang decides to put more pressure on it. So far, Ang is also a bit here and there. So it's hard to say exactly where Ang's big push might come in versus Barton, because I mean the west flank there seems to be up his choice because there's only a Pioneer squad here, as Barton is putting all effort towards the centre here with the Grenadiers and the MG42. Mortar on the way there for Ang. That's going to make it harder there for Barton to hold up on the eastern side, or for that matter to make easy progress in the centre. Looks like the Rifleman is going to try and skirmish here, flank, harass, stall Barton's advance here for his cut-off point. We'll have to see how that works out for Ang. We got a 3rd Grenadier squad there for Barton as well. 15th Panzer Division adding in as much infantry as can. It seems to now switching towards more of a centre-east approach, which does mean the west is incredibly vulnerable to aggressive harassment there from Ang, including the figure out manoeuvre Barton there in a big push. But at the same time, Barton is poised to just hit the cuff point and lock himself down there doing the same. So we'll have to see here what Ang decides on and what Barton does. We got the mortar out here, and we got the Lieutenant Fang. He does not have reconnaissance support, though he does actually have 2 doctrines with mortar after. He's got infantry, he's got mechanized company. So in theory, he could be adding a lot of mobilized to then. The mortar after cast from the Americans really caught on as of late, it seems. Of course, he could be planning heavy cavalry. There you go. MG42 slowly approaching here. Grenadiers backing up here, and those Pioneers with flamethrowers pushing back the Rifleman there. In the east, there we go. Barton sending forces from the rifle got suppressed. Barton launches the assault. Vorwärts, Männer! Feuer frei! But stalling a bit here by the rifle. Then we noted there's been several tank traps laid down for cover here by Ang. MG42 up on the rifle, quickly suppressing them. Rifle holding up in the house here. And Barton doesn't quite have the immediate resource for clearing this out, so it's going to take some time there. In the meanwhile, he's going to be an easy target for the mortars, so it might be an idea for Barton to actually call this off. Then again, he just pushed for the car pump. The Rifleman now actually been pinned down. Pioneers team with the Rifleman up here, but the Pioneers are themselves suffering heavily to Ang's vicious Rifleman. So we've got a 2nd MG42 up for Barton. We've got triple Grenadiers, double MG42s from Barton and the German army here versus Ang, who's there we go. Got the Lieutenant out, but the Lieutenant is only just arriving now and will not necessarily be able to hold off here. We got the MG42 coming up here towards the house to assist with that one. Pioneers quit in theory, also trying to assist a bit there, more setting up, support the Rifleman. Lieutenant pulling out, and what will Ang do here? Will it be the anti-aircraft tactic with the M20? Will it be 50 calibers? There you go, mortar mag is going to be opening up, and the MG42 fires much too far there. Second shot, not quite on the mark either. The dust for a lot of dirt there in Dietrich. Ah, scheiße. And it just hits its uniform at was last month. Verdammte Amerikaner. Pioneers holding up. Lieutenant there suppressed by the enemy 2. Barton just keeps up the pressure there versus Ang relentlessly and remorselessly. And we got the first doctoral choice hits from Barton. It is Jaegeer infantry opening up for ambush camouflage, T-43s, and the Jaegeer command squad just sort of within the near future. So love to see how that works out for Barton and what he does with that. Gunnery infantry warming up a smaller secondary group here. The main group with 2 grenadiers, 1 infantry, 2 possible Pioneers. This will just most simply there to secure the west flank for the time being here versus Ang, and sort of maybe secure the victory point there as well. So far though, with only 1 rifle squad to face, they should easily have the upper hand there versus Ang, who is definitely struggling. We got smoke screens down there from Ang, by the way. Not a bad choice. In this case, didn't seem to do too much. Almost got the infantry with the mortar. If he can wipe that out, that would be pretty big. In this case, didn't quite work out there for Ang. But again, machine gun wipe, then particularly could have stolen it, would have been pretty big. Fang would allow him to possibly turn the game quite aggressively around versus Barton. But we got like to make a nice company for Barton, 50 caliber and an anti-aircraft optic there from Ang. Note by he accidentally called in the 50 caliber first, so he cancelled that so the anti-aircraft half track could be prioritised. He obviously wants out something more aggressive here to push back against Barton. They cannot just deal with light vehicles. But Ang has yet here to commit to a doctrine. Again, he does have options. He does have options. Pearson's moving up. Rifle Lieutenant here reinforcing. Got an ambulance over there. The Lieutenant has definitely seen better days and is in dire need of some health care. Grenadiers versus Riflemen. T-43s singing out versus the M1 Garants. And we got the mortar there firing. We got the 2 on the way for Barton. It helps deal with rifles. Can also deal with any light vehicles that Ang might go for. Though it will struggle against the half track without additional 2-2s. So Barton here on the right flank fighting, but he is not doing too well there. There's just too many rifles, and of course the mortar further presents a challenge for Barton's infantry, which can't quite break through. West side though is pretty secure. And there you go. Anti-aircraft attack out there from Ang. And the 3rd Armoured Division suddenly increasing Ang's firepower here on the move. And also running him with a counter for any German light vehicles. M4 getting bombarded by the 1st machine gun and the double 50 caliber. Got riflemen up here. Still no doctoral charge from Ang. VS into the centre getting suppressed by the MG42. And there you go. He could lose the MG42 to the half track, having chosen the poor wrong door there. And no. He gets away with that one. He gets away with that. That's pretty lucky there for Barton. Once more, he did not lose an MG42. Ambulance ready. Weapon racks also going up there for Ang. Could add some bazookas if he needs to. Of course, a lot of BARs, which sound quite nice. And there you go. Rifle squad there with them. Have to win against the 2-2. And Grenadiers moving one quickly pulls back. The half team needs to build some distance to ensure he doesn't get Panther fast and then sort of set upon by the 2-2-2. Mortar spotted by the 2-2-2, and Barton immediately sets a point. Might try and get a wipe here, though he can't immediately steal it. He can still delay it and force Ang to have to spend manpower accruing it, which will certainly slow down Ang a bit. Plus, it puts a rifle squad out of commission, or resistance squad, either way, something they won't be fighting immediately. So there you go, mortar wipe 2-2 being pursued by the angry rifle. Got a grenadier squad waiting around the corner to blast anyone who steps too far out. There we go. And Riflemen taking heavy damage out in the open. Negative cover is, of course, very bad infantry territory. And there you go, almost got a full wipe. Pretty good there for Barton. Vehicle crewing. And there you go, 2-2. Knocked out by the anti-aircraft attack. Bit of a loss there for Barton, who's going for a second 2-2 already. Angus also managed to go some ground here in the east. Getting actually rather close to Barton's base. And so all of a sudden, Barton has lost a lot of territory here to Ang. Of course, he has been able to do plenty of damage. Rearson squad, but they got a wipe by the Grenadiers. They start on negative cover. Barton clearly more than happy to punish Ang for such a tactical misjudgment there. Wipes the entire lot. Then we got 2 Rearson squads over there for Ang. But he lost the bazooka and over obviously lost 2 bazookas totally there to Barton. The one was stolen, the other of course completely destroyed, but still, that's actually pretty costly there for Aang. So despite all the other gains he might have made, that slightly puts a dampener on it. But we got a lot of resistance on the way, then he's immediately turning their into tank teams. But yes, when a bit of ammunition, he's also at some point going around securing that point. 2-2 heading for the kharkov point, trying to stall Aang there from capturing the kharkov point and getting back the fuel. Overall, Barton there putting very good pressure on Aang's fuel. Very good, very good. He's also actually got the option of calling in a Jaeger command squad, though he has yet to do so. A 5-man grenadier squad with G43s, camouflage, and other lovely things tends to be a very good investment. There you go. Jaeger command squad out there for Barton. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge there for Aang to deal with, and certainly quite a boon there for Barton. Rifle resistance, they're getting blasted apart by the MD42, gaining veteran 2 in fact, increasing its ability to suppress. Mortar bombarding away, they're having fun being recruited there by Aang, and these holding up the right flank a bit on their own. So despite the losses that Barton suffered, Aang was not able to capitalise on it very seriously there versus Barton, ensuring that Barton did not crumble. And in fact is quite readily able to go back on the offensive versus Aang. So Aang needs to do something I think a bit more drastic here versus Barton to really sort of be able to push Barton on the defensive. There you go, got the Jaeger command squad moving ahead. A much more nasty threat there for Aang, and there you go, getting suppressed. We've also got the smoke screen down the MD42, very good work there by Aang's mortar. Barton could of course also lay down the smoke screen here and cover that the retreat of his Jaegers command squad. 50 cavalry winner for Aang, the Mardus. Going to lose on the fire from the anti-aircraft after, which is just hammering away there. Rocks chipping away there from the cover as it just slowly falls apart. And there you go, quick hit with something. 2-2 creeping up. Still no doctoral charge from Aang here as the Jaegers push forward in the centre. Half tech holding back the 2-2. And there you go, got the 50 cavalry out there for Aang, adding him some suppressive firepower to help deal with all of Barton's infantry. With 3 grenadiers and a Jaeger command squad, that is certainly most understandable. Jaeger's advancing there, sticking to hiding out here by a few drums as they secure the centre victory point. West side MD42 covering, grenadiers nearby in support if need be, though they can also cover the centre quite nicely. Right flank seems to be where Aang isn't putting most of his pressure here, which is also where Barton is. Fortunately for Aang, at least prepared. Meanwhile though, Barton has rushed ahead, they're setting up the support on court. It's going to take a bit while long before he can get our armour, but he will still be able to push ahead for tanks faster than Aang. Which is largely down to Barton's efficient harassment of Aang troops. There we go, he catches the anti-aircraft off guard. There you go, Aang responds swiftly and pushes back the 2-2, almost taken out there. That was actually pretty close to the Barton, knocked it out. In the east, the riflemen trying to flank the MD42, getting stopped here by the MD42 and the Jaeger command squad. Well placed, precise shots do plenty of harm. We got a second 50 caliber for Aang. Second one, and still no sign of a doctrine for him or the 3rd Armored Division. MD42 under immediate mortar bombardment there from Aang. Ooh, quick grenade there, rifleman falling out of the house, which has seen better days for sure. And so the rifleman for that matter, they're low in health and numbers. Arrival of the half trick though might just swing the battle in favour of the grenadiers, so they're still going to be pretty close. To rapidly down to half health, but not before taking the anti-aircraft traffic down to half health. From the west, MD42 and 1 grenadier squad remains. A small watch force there from Barton, as he's confident the rest of his forces can handle Aang in the centre and the east. At least until he pulls out a tank, which is in fact, right now, he's got the resources for the Panzer IV. Also noting now all of the versions have upgraded bazookas rather than they're more or less also almost all. But we actually went for BARs in these chaps, not bazookas. Interesting choice by Aang. He's clearly not too worried about armour right now, though. Of course, once the Panzer IV hits, that tune might change a bit. Grenadiers was rifling in the east, not the best position for the Grenadiers to fight, so they'll have to fall back eventually. Panzer IV close to halfway down there for Barton. As Aang now launches a larger scale assault here in the centre west region of that, and before choosing the best to hold down Aang. But he is laying down heavy fire. There's Barton. After he pushed back, incendiary kills rounds up here, certainly stalling any direct assault here in the east. Seems to be he's also pushing, so in fact seems to be a heavy frontal push there from Aang. Though Barton is able to hold them down in most cases, no smoke screens, nothing great in terms of support, and no doctrinal elements either, which makes it easier for Barton to defend. And we got the Panzer IV out there for Barton, and the German army up here. Grenadiers need to retreat soon before the half-track tears them apart. In the centre, 50 cavalry holding back the Grenadiers here. The Lieutenant needs to fall back soon. Jaegeer Command Squad and Pioneers doing an awful lot of damage. And in the west, far west, M14 rifle. And we got artillery caught in here. Around the centre on the half-tank, machine gun and mortars. Lightest infantry shots. Artillery rains down, not having much of an impact, so just causing a full retreat there from Aang around the centre. And the lone bazooka man in the ditch is under with by his crewmates. Oh, half the unit gone. Panzer IV though is roughly down to half health, so the bazookas were actually able to do quite well. The bazooka was able to do enough there versus Barton. But right now Aang is in the particularly sticky situation that he's just had to retreat everything from the front line, meaning if Barton was just to push it, he could secure a large chunk on the map there. He could easily lay down a lot of mines to make it harder for Aang to use his infantry or his tanks. So we'll have to see here what happens. But there we go, we got the 2-2 roaming ahead aggressively, and we got the Major out here with double bazookas for Aang. But still, no sign of a doctrine there for Aang and the 3rd Armoured Division. No choices, no decisions made as of yet. Panzer IV bombarding away at the riflemen. Shots not landing too well, but they're going to tank roughing it up. That's going to make it a bit harder for the Panzer IV to push back. In the east, half taking down the Grenadiers, but Barton is nonetheless intent on just gaining as much ground versus the Americans as fast as possible. Barton also following up with a Pack 40. And Aang still not committed to a doctrine. That definitely feels like something he could be improving upon. But we'll see what it ends up with. Though the longer it lasts, it certainly seems less like it's going to aim for infantry and more like it's going to aim for a mechanised company with reserve armour or heavy cavalry in the M26 Pershing. Both could be very viable options for different reasons though. And we got another artillery barrage called in here by Barton. In the west here, around the rifle, several hits taken there by the rifleman. As German artillery ceaselessly hammers away. 5th cavalry survives most of it. Barton's all getting close to the 2nd Panther IV. He could go for Stooks and Osman, but I'm guessing another Panther IV since, well, he's in a pretty solid position. Rifling it flies, does not have much of an impact. The Jaeger Command Squad on the hand is forced screaming away. Aang remains not committed to any doctrine. He's also been to quite a bit of fuel there and is not utilising it. Is it because of the constant manpower bleed, or is there something else behind it? Is there something else behind it? Easy planning for Pershing, and there you go, we got heavy cavalry and Well, it seems like Eng is now trying to play for Pershing a high-risk style of play, which could easily backfire on him depending on what Barton does. Panzer IV wipes the machine gun in a single hit there. Will he be able to get the mortar? There we go. Wipes the mortar as well. Heavy bazooka fire that pushes back the Panzer IV. Too many bazookas for a single Panzer IV to deal with. Got a 2-2 map support here. But still, that was quite potent there for Barton. Also, decent amount of experience there for the Panzer IV. In the far west, someone runs away. And back here, enemy reinforcement going for Barton's forces. Same up in Ang's base. There we go, Panzer IV up for Barton. And there goes assault straight into the 50 cal machine gun here. That should be able to do some damage to Barton's forces. 2-2. Seemingly moving up far east here. Sounded like it was in the west, but that's actually the half track, which is holding back some Barton. So we've got 2-5 here on the 50 cal up north. Calling it quite a bit there, 100 munitions. It is certainly rather affordable. 2-2. Looks like it's... Is Barton planning on raiding his opponent's base and destroying the ambulance? I think so. He's basically taking advantage of all that's going on the front line to creep in with a 2-2 into Ang's base. He's going for the ambulance, the cheeky bastard. That is pretty clever. Risky, but clever. In this case though, didn't quite pay off there for Barton. It was really, really, really close though. I mean, I like it. But didn't quite pay off. He was very close though, he was very close. But he forgot to attack ground. He ordered to just attack. The half tower was abandoned. So, close but no cigar for Barton. Though I suppose it did nonetheless force him to focus on his base around the front line, which gave Barton the edge at the front. So even there, the 2-2 did something for Barton and the German army. Other Panzer IV over the damaged engine. First Panzer IV here, close to Vetchi 2, needs to fall back. Though too much bazooka fire. There you go. Vetchi 2 shots and added. Rapidly rolling back the Panzer IV. That's for Barton. Nothing further going on in his base. And clearly playing for the Pershing. Yeah, he's more or less got the fuel. He just needs the manpower to roll out his heavy tank there as the Krauts and take them on.
Our foes have 300 points remaining. Increase your efforts.
So Barton here basically locking down around the Coh2 with both Panzer IVs, so Pack 40 and Grenadiers basically daring Ang to attack. Ooh, machine gun wipe. That's pretty bad for Ang at this stage. But there you go. Got the Pershing out for Ang and the 3rd Armored Division, the M26. Rather than attacking head on into the point with the 2 Panzer IVs away, unsurprisingly, not with the best results. Lieutenant flanking, but there you go, wiping the Pack 40 with the Lieutenant, but there's still the issue of the 2 Panzer IVs. But there you go, with the pack down here, and clearly feels emboldened enough to attack with the Pershing. But there you go, runs his gun. There you go, suffers engine damage. Double Panzer IV seem to do the trick there, stalling Ang's glorious cavalry charge. Might also been a mine involved, I don't know. But basically, the Pershing is going nowhere fast. Half-track trying to roll in there to prevent the pack from recruitment, send us up front. Found the Pack 40. And, oh, can he get away in time? Yes. Damn close, though. Panzer IV into the Pershing, and a lot of bazooka fire. Panzer IV down to less than half health in a matter of seconds. But it does escape. The Pershing, though, is also forced to roll back there for repairs. So now Ang has a heavy tank out on the field, but Barton has 2 Panzer IVs able to challenge it to with anti-tank support. And he's actually going for tier 4 here, which, considering I suppose what's got on the field, is not an entirely bad decision. Of course, there's the argument we could just go for another Panzer IV or more Stugs. But Barton aims for the heavy panzer corps. We got air reconnaissance in there from Ang's Major. Probably to gain an idea there of how Barton's position on the battlefield, so you can attack here and there. I think that is a sound tactical decision. So there you go, Panther Force and it repairs. He should actually get another Pioneer squad. I mean, he's going to have a lot of armor in his hands, even in particular with Tier 4 that's going to need repairs. So, I mean, at least a second Pioneer squad is going to be a prerequisite there for Barton to be able to work it efficiently. Oh, it's just going to take him too long time to get all his armor repaired, in particular the Panther that's what he's aiming for. Even the Sturmpanther is just going to end up being too much repairs. There you go, Pershing hit the support by the rifle in the half track there. Canadians getting pummeled. And we got the 8 command squad spring its ambush from behind a single lone tree. Swiftly opening up the rifle out in the open there before becoming the target for the Pershing. Panzer IV being fixed up. And got the veteran Panther moving in, going for the half track here. Halfway to veteran, there go to hit down from the Pershing. And the rifle anti-tank grenades forcing it back already. Oh dear, Canadians following up in the Jaegeer command squad's wake get hit by the Pershing. And in the far east, Lieutenant pushes back the Canadians successfully. Barton's holding on to the victory point, starting to look a bit rougher here. Pershing suffering heavily in his hand on assault, gaining veterans who won the process in the west. Assault T is stalling as well without smoke. The MD-42 is able to deal with it all. Pushing with a half track though. Huge casualties appearing though for Ang. And quickly pulls back the half track. He's got the Panther in. He's blitzing. He's blitzing. He wants that half track dead. Almost got it. We got a lot of rifle moving in. They could anti-tank rifle grenade it. And the half track gets away. There you go. Damaged engine. Panther 4. Very close to veteran T3. Very, very close to veteran 3 in the A stage. We've got the Pershing moving in there. He's got prey there. He's got something he can kill. And Barton desperately needs to get the Panther 4 there. He's got the other Panther 4 moving in. The Pack 40 is also advancing. So might try and just stall the Pershing there using the other Panther 4 as bait. Hoping he's not just going to rush his Pershing straight out. Then again, if he does, he will leave the rear armor exposed to the Panther 4. There you go. Panther 4 falls back. He goes for it. He goes for it. Pershing misses the Panther 4. Pack 40 setting up. Other Panther 4 moving in again. There you go. Shots fired. Almost got the Panther 4, but it doesn't dare risk it, I think, anymore. There we go. Panther 4, the Pack 4, and there you go. Target weak point on the Pershing, which is actually pretty close to Special 2. And smoke screen on the Pack 40. From the mortar, but a bit late. Still, Pershing is able to escape. He's got 2 resistance squad to repair, and Barton still only got 1 Pioneer squad. So fixing up both Panther Force will take Barton quite a bit of while. He has built the heavy Panzer corps and will likely aim for a Panther. At least that would be my anticipated guess, since he went for this in response to the Pershing. Fighting with rifle with the Grenadiers. Rifle grenade off, and decent hit. Half track obliterating Grenadiers out in the open, returning again for the centre victory point. Still only 1 Pioneer squad for Barton. It's not like he's lacking in manpower, so I don't feel like there's much of a reason for Barton not to go for more than 1 Pioneer squad here versus Ang. That kind of armor pool. Pershing sitting out there very close to 82. After they're taking it from the Pack 40. Might be too late here. And there you go, machine gun spotted by the Pershing. Panther 4 good to go. And there you go, ace level game, but a lot of bazookas flying in its general direction. Barton super close to the Panther. Got it from the Pershing on the Panzer forms taken out there. Another target weak point on the Pershing. And Barton now has the resources needed for the Panther. He's also got the resources of the Pioneer squad on top of that. There you go, Panther on the way, but Barton still seems like a 1 Pioneer man. A 1 Pioneer man. And could aim for a Sherman here, but he could also likely end up going for a Jack to deal with all the enemy armor. we'll see there. We shall see. And they're showing the situation around again, that he is now behind Barton in victory points, which is definitely not helpful there for Ang, though of course it's pretty good for Barton. Oh, he's sprinting, he's going to Panther the Pershing. Clever. Ang did not anticipate that one. Jackson on the way there for Ang. Panther done for Barton. Still just one Pioneer squad, but there you go. Panzerkampfwagen 5 mobilised here to support the 15th Panzerdivision. House they're collapsing under repeated heavy fire from the anti-aircraft half-track. In the far west, we've got the initial Rearslons. The Rearslons, even with the BAR, are ultimately overcome. House down. Panther moving in. No pin. I'm actually going to have a Barton to help deal with the infantry. And there you go, rifle caught out in the open. Fresh rifle, in fact. Panther moving straight up, taking a lot of fire, in fact, down to half health in a matter of seconds here. There's the bazookas and the Pershing. Panther moving support. Ace also rushing in, but the Panther is taking more damage. He's down to roughly a quarter of its health now, almost 1/3. Panther fully taking heavy damage from all the bazookas and the Pershing as well. And there you go, got the Pershing there. Ang not quite cautious enough, underestimated the response here from Barton and the German Panzer, after resulting in the total loss of the Pershing, while he wasn't able to get a single tank knocked out there. It's pretty good for Barton. Leaving Ang with the Jackson and a lot of bazookas to deal with Barton's Panther. But there he goes, going straight for the Panther 4, which is already low on health. One hit, and there we go, the Panther 4 is down. The Panther needs to fall back. That is too low on health as well. He still needs more Pioneers. Half track finally went down, taken out here by the Pack 40. Panther close to Veterans 1. Back here, troops at the ready to move out, but are currently not moving. In fact, they're standing quite still. Panther 4 going over the Jackson, pretty risky, and there you go. Huge chunk of bazookas appearing there. Panther 4 down to half health in a matter of moments. He tries to get that Jackson, but he's just taking too much damage. He's taking too much damage, and Barton ends up chucking away his Panzer 4 ace on a rather ill-advised armoured raid. So that was pretty bad there for Barton. He's just down to the Panther now. And if Ang was to go for another Jackson, his Panther would be dead meat, as well as Sherman supporting the Jackson could also mean the Panther would be dead meat. Like, this is pretty grim stuff there for Barton. And the bazooka teams are pursuing his Panther, putting it even further low on health. Barton, though, seemingly remains committed to just one Pioneer there, refusing to get anything that might expedite the repairs of his tanks. I do feel like that's a bit of a tactical error there by Barton. Motion down from Ang, but oh, it's on the Jaegeer command squad. I actually didn't anticipate he'd call in that on those, but apparently he did. Clearly worried about the Jaegeer command squad enough to just want to get out of there, but at the same time not just going to make a needless assault without support or any cover. MD42 on the way for Barton, but still no additional Pioneers. They got Ang with the stolen MD42. Panther almost got to go for Barton once more. Rather than center suppressed, but MD42 gun is going there for the victory point. Trying to slowly push ahead here. He's still maintaining a good lead over Ang, who's not quite there able to turn things around. Ooh, that didn't do too much. Panther the once more sets up for the German army. Of course, Barton needs to be careful he doesn't end up throwing that one away, because that could be pretty big. Ang, though, is also pretty rapidly setting pace towards a second Pershing. Rather than getting shredded by the Panther out in the open, machine guns there would of course be highly lethal. Bazooka team swarming in, trying to put an end to that Panther, but ultimately too much supporting infantry makes that a folly ridden move. Closing on the Pershing, we have roughly a minute away from it. Barton though continues to float manpower. He could of course save up for a second Panther, wouldn't be a bad choice overall, I think. I mean, 2 Panthers should be reasonably difficult fighting to deal with. But there you go, Panther going for the Jackson, both engage here. And there you go, Jackson down to less than half health, but Panther falls back here. In the centre though, big push here from Ang. Some machine guns able to stall it, but the question is, will it be enough? You've got Smoke in there called in on the front of the MG42, preventing it from supporting, but he's also quickly falling back there as there's too many German troops rushing in. Panther veterans 1 awaiting repair, still only 1 Pioneer squad there for Barton. And seconds away from the Pershing. And there we go, second Pershing up for Ang. And Barton goes for the Sturmpanzer. Apparently he's feeling that threatened by Ang's infantry. He does want to commit to a Sturmpanzer, but probably recommend an Ostwind instead. Jackson sending out another MG42 for Barton. So he's clearly going heavily down on them. He's really trying to lock down the infantry. That seems a bit heavily aggressive. MG42 push back. Sturmpanzer almost done. And Panther dealing with infantry up close. Machine guns soaring through the Yankees. My apologies. Nope, Ang could be laying down mines using his rifle, or laying down sandbags or finding positions, but he's not really doing much to make it hard for Barton to push through. Sturmpanzer setting out there. Pinman machine gun there for the Sturmpanzer. He got smoke called in here by Ang again. There we go, in the midst here of Barton's Western forces, allowing the troops to pull through, get up close. Jackson here versus Pat 40 and Sturmpanzer. Lieutenant trying to get closer, but not enough. And without grenades, he's got no way of doing anything if he got close there. Panther fast the Pershing, damaging his engine. Jackson then veterans 1-2 kills. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Panther setting out. MG42 covering the western victory point. Not a bad idea there by Barton. And Panthers on the prowl. They shoot. Gets one of the tank Hunter crew members. But still got the person with Jackson opening up the Panther, which is actually very close there to Veteran 2 now. Incredibly close. Shot from the Jackson bounces off the Panther's frontal armour. And the centre grenade is advancing up the far right side. We got the M42 with the Grenadier squad. Barton still with only 1 Pioneer squad. I'm starting to get a bit confused with that, as to why exactly he's doing that. Might be he just doesn't care. Sturmpanzer fighting with the machine gun in the centre. Panther unit repairs. Down here, troops in reinforcing there for Barton. quick sprint here from Barton, and good use of the ability barley, very good. I don't think we've seen any ambush camouflage from him though, which is a bit unfortunate. Ooh, bazooka drop there. He actually makes an attempt to secure it, or might risk losing the gun in the process. Yeah, wiped. Probably couldn't have saved it with a smoke grenade here from the command squad. That would have been nice if he tried, but it probably wouldn't have worked out. Smoke screen again on the MG42. Consistent use of that smoke ability by the way there by Ang. Consistent. Jackson Pershing ready again. There you go. Jackson rolling ahead. Speeding ahead of the Pershing. Looking out for German targets. There you go. Blasting. We're not quite hitting anything except the ground. That's clearly trying to take out the Sturmpanzer 4. There you go. Penetrating hit there on the Sturmpanzer. Also known as the Stupa. The Brumbar name nearby is actually an allied designation. Not something the Germans called it. These take the Pershing move ahead. Gonna do that. Oh, bunched up run from the Pershing. And the Pershing magnificently misses both of them. Panther going in for the Pershing. Shoots, misses. Gains virtually 2-0 less due to the American nearby. Sturmpanzer down to half health. American advancing under fire there from the Sturmpanzer. 9 kills close to veterans 1. Continuing the hunt here for the Sturmpanzer. Bazooka shots fine. Jackson moving in. Pershing needed repairs. And could probably go here for Sherman. Another Jackson versus Barton. Would not be a bad idea, I think. There you go. Pershing moves ahead. There you go into line of fire of the Panther. Both shots missed the Panther. Jackson then does not miss. In fact, using 8 rep rounds, take the Panther down to less than half health. Troll kills the command squad, Sturmpanzer and repairs. And again, with only one Pioneer squad, this is going to be a slow process for Barton. Pershing we head there right into a lot of Panzerfaust from Barton. That seems pretty ill-advised there by Ang, to be honest. Pretty ill-advised. Barton's got his opponent down to 54, though he's down to 150 himself. There you go. Sherman on the way for Ang. Some additional armour to support what is already there. Fixing up the Pershing. Those are Grenadiers, mortar fire there. Oh, artillery called in here by Ang's Major.
The capture point is under attack.
Not particularly hitting match there. And quickly bleeding up. Victory Port to do something. Got the Sherman ready. Panther good to go. Sturmpanzer being repaired. And there you go. Barton says fourth with the Panther. Jackson spotted here, but gets the first shot there. Panther jumps around, shoots back at the Pershing. Gonna lose him up support. Another hit there. Gets a hit as well. Oh, misses the Panther, but Jackson still gets some damage off there somehow. Maybe there's a pack 40 on the other way. Both close on health there. Oh, almost got the Panther there, but almost got the Jackson as well. Oh, sliver of health, and he gets the Jackson with the Panther actually, and it's almost virtually free there. He's almost got an ace Panther. Then he's just got too little left. He rushes the southern victory point, tries for the northern one, but he's just not making much progress. He doesn't get them in time, I think, here. Plus he's losing too much, and there you go. Ang retreats. The 3rd Armored Division has been beaten back here, but the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division, a victory for Germany, a loss for America. A nice little battle here on the road to Kharkov, showing off the Jaeger command or the Jaeger infantry doctrine. Heavy cavalry, I think it was all well utilised. Could have headed out sooner, could have done more with the doctrine. Rangers, I think, would have been quite effective there fighting. And Engel using smoke was now at times the big flanker, and I do feel like his attempt at playing for the Pershing was also weak. Plus, will just Barton's early harassment of the field was also, you know, a big winner there, whereas Ang never really quite harassed Barton's resource in the same way. So just Barton had some long-term advantage due to how he played compared to Ang's play again. Initial doctrinal choices, so forming a more cohesive strategy as well. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, one, subscribe, tell friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of your own apart and feedback in the comments section. And if you like what I do, do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. And this is Imperial Dancing Cheese. Thank you for watching. And see you all tomorrow for another signing episode. Bye.